So what is HeartMath?
HeartMath is a set of tools and techniques that helps athletes to access a high performance state on demand, anytime, any place. It's that state that you require to be able to perform at your best in the critical moments. So for example, when you're sitting on the start line of a race, or perhaps you're about to take a penalty kick, or maybe you're a golfer about to drive off the tee. It helps you to control your nerves and to stay calm under pressure.
That sounds a bit too good to be true. How does it actually work?
I should start by saying that HeartMath is actually based on science and many, many years of research at the HeartMath Institute in America. And the Optimal Sports Performance Program teaches athletes to tune in to an optimum state that is accessed through the body first and foremost, not just through the mind. And it really highlights that mind-body connection. And when you're in a state of flow, or you're in the zone, your heart, your brain and your nervous system are all in sync. And when everything's working in sync, that's when you perform optimally. That's when you're working at most efficiently. And it's in this state that you feel like you have greater clarity of thought, you have better focus, you have quicker reaction times, better coordination, you feel confident. A place that many athletes would call the zone.
Lots of people talk about the zone, and it seems a bit of a mystical place that you either get into or you stumble across. How do you actually know when you're in the zone?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because you're right, many athletes may never have experienced the zone, so how would they know if they're in the zone if they've never been there before? And it's not like a place that you can just press a button and you're in the zone. But what's really great about HeartMath is the M-Wave technology, and the technology gives you real-time feedback on your physiological state. It shows you how your emotions and your thoughts affect your heart rhythms, which in turn influence how your brain functions, and which that in turn affects how you perform. And so with the M-Wave technology and the right tuition, you can come to understand what it feels like to be in that optimum state. And then over time with practice, you become so familiar with it that eventually you know how to switch into that state in an instant. Anytime, any place, in fact, in or out of sport.
So the M-Wave technology, is it really practical? Is it something that you can take into a competition or take training? Is it really easy to use?
Yeah, it is. It's really easy to use, and there's two pieces of equipment. There's the M-Wave desktop, which is used with your computer, and that's great because it really brings the whole thing to life. You get to see your heart rhythms in real time on the screen, and it gives you this really great feedback. And then there's the M-Wave PSR, which is a portable handheld device, which you can see is even smaller than an iPod. So it's lightweight, it's practical, it's easy to carry around. And I know many athletes who are using this athletes from different sports, Olympic sports, professional golfers, and they're using this before competitions as part of their pre-competition routine. And other athletes who are in team sports, they're using it when they're sat on the bench, using it to prepare their minds before they go out onto the pitch, or perhaps they're using it at half-time during a competition.
So do you have to have the M-Wave to be able to practice HeartMath?
No, you don't. The Optimal Sports Performance Program teaches you how to use the technology and how to really get the most out of the technology and learn to work with this biofeedback. But it also teaches you techniques that are not reliant upon the technology, because ultimately you want to get to the place where you can switch into this zone-like state in an instant. Be ready to perform in the zone on demand. And you don't want to be sat on the start line with this. You can't. So it's teaching you how to access that state without the technology. And you know what? I really wish that I had this when I was competing, because as an athlete, I did a pretty good job of being able to get myself in an optimal state for most of the big occasions, but I didn't do it all the time. And I certainly didn't know how I was doing it, and I didn't know how to repeat it. But what's really great is that I do now. And I'm really excited about sharing HeartMath with as many athletes as possible.